Welcome to Mishna study Masechet Shabbat Perek Yud Mishnah Aleph. Over here, starting the 10th Perek, and we're going to discuss now different laws of carrying. Over here, we're going to see that in general, a person needs to carry something, as we mentioned earlier in the 7th Perek, if he cares about the item, right? If it's a really small shiur. If it's something that he doesn't necessarily care about, then it goes according to the general mass. If the mass, wants to use it for, X, Y, and Z, then needs to take him out that appropriate shiur. But let's say a person he's saving something. He wants this one little tiny seed because he wants to replant it, or he wants something as a sample, right? Which is smaller than the typical shiur, the hamil mechayev, that the obligated person, if they took this size out. Over here, he wants something smaller. So because he wants something smaller, if he carries out that smaller size object, he'd be hayav for, and that's going to be the discussion of our Mishnah. So matzniya lezera, if a person saved, something, saved a seed in order to sow it, to plant it afterwards. The dugma, right? For let's say he's saved it for as a sample, or lirfuah as for healing, for medicine. So hotzi o b'Shabbat hayav alav kol shu. If he took it out on Shabbat, he's hayav any amount that he takes out, right? So the way Hanapam understands this, it's an interesting explanation, is he was matzniya, right? He protected it, he guarded it, he saved it from before Shabbat, right? For these purposes, right? For these medicinal, or he wanted to use it for a zera, or it was a sample, right? And he forgot why he saved it. And he took it out on Shabbat. Stam, he took it out on Shabbat. A person is going to be hayav. That person is going to be hayav kol shu. Why? Because he took it out based off his original intention where he was saving it. So even if he didn't have it at that very moment, the intention to save it, because he saved it earlier, therefore any amount that he takes out is going to be hayav. But now once he finishes, right, he already took it out, and now it's outside, and he brings it back in, he's not going to be hayav for bringing that back in, because he already finished what he wanted to do originally, and now he turns into like every other person, right? And that's the continuation in the Mishnah. Right? Anyone is only going to be obligated if they bring out the appropriate measurement, right? Not the tiny, smaller sampling size, right? The appropriate measurement. The Hamim, mentioned, if it's kagorget for fig size, for foods, whatever it may be. Chazar v'ichnisa, now as we mentioned earlier, if he goes now and he brings it back inside, right? The same person is not hayav, right? Only if it's the appropriate measurement, because now he becomes like everyone else. Because once he already took it outside, right? He already fulfilled his original machshava, and now that he's bringing it back in, he becomes like every other person.